Well, I knew Dr. Opadele as far back as year 2000. He's actually a pioneer staff of this hospital, and I work in theater with him. I have the privilege of working in theater with him as a nurse anesthetist, recovering patient coming out of surgery. And during my encounter with Dr. Opadele, he's so humble and very dedicated to his duties. It's a pity we are missing this great man at this particular time, when his worth of experience is most needed. Who can question God? Absolutely nobody. It's just our prayer that our God, in his infinite mercy, will grant his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, a perfect rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ADMS Matthew. I'll call again the president of the Association of Doctors, who incidentally is also his resident. They worked closely together. This gentleman, when he came here, you couldn't put him in the pocket. But Dr. Opadele has taught him everything that anybody can be, and topmost is humility, and you can see how humble he is. Dr. Tunde.
Good evening, all. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to talk. It's quite touching and humbling at the same time that we are gathered here to talk about this man. I don't think I'm qualified, but just as I have told everybody that I've come across since this incident, that there is nobody Dr. Opadele has not touched, especially if you have worked closely with him. I want to sum it up by saying that it is almost impossible to recall an uneventful day. Uneventful in the sense that even passively he's teaching you something. Even the way he talks with the house officers around or the medical students around, you are learning. The way he interacts with his colleagues, the way he interacts with us residents is most humbling. And the truth is that he has set a very high bar. That no matter how much I try, I feel it will continue to be the biggest challenge I would give myself to emulate as much as I have seen him practice. Not what he says, but the things I've seen him do. It will be very difficult for me, but I'll keep trying. And I know I'll keep checking them as I do them. Very little incident. He's, as much as I try not to say this, but it is a big challenge for me, and of course I will also try to throw it open to, so that people can paint this picture of who this man really is. I'll paint a picture. A scenario where you have a patient and you have this very much experienced man that happens to trust you, no matter how little your abilities are, and you tell him, Chief, please, there's this patient I know somewhere, I would like you, he has this so and so problem, I would like you to operate on him. And he manages to tell you something like, wow, this procedure, I know you can do this procedure. Me, I've not seen it though. I can't even do it. Come and do it, I will assist you. Who does that? Who does that? Ask yourself, who does that? Alright. Let me just leave it at that. It's a challenge for all of us. We have to come down from our high horses, because this is what life is.
Thank you, Dr. Tunde. As we continue to remain very solemn in our hearts, let me also respectfully appreciate the presence of our former Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchichukwu, who came in not long ago. Prof, you're welcome. He's also an orthopedic surgeon, so you can see this man is cut across the length and breadth of the academia. I want to appreciate Mrs. Laribo. She's the head of physiotherapists, to come up here and give us a 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Let's make it very brief. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Former head, I'm a retired staff. It's a pleasure because I'm a Christian and I believe that Dr. Opadele is with the Lord. I do not mourn as those who do not believe. I knew Dr. Opadele as a resident of this from Lagos, and we met here and we've been working. One of the reasons why I said I was going to talk today is the fact that the patient is king where we work. Physiotherapists and orthopedic surgeons are like first cousins. There are situations sometimes that orthopedic surgeons don't call us into a program to see a patient, and they know why. And sometimes I've had cause to talk to my colleagues concerning management of patients. So I've had times I've had to talk to Dr. Opadele. Dr. Opadele, why are you not asking us to do this? And he will tell me reasons why. And because of the way we work, we first work with, I've been trying to remember his name, the first surgeon here. Not Dr. Salau, that was an elderly man. Then Dr. Salau came in, and we were working hand in hand. And every patient that needed our attention, we were doing together. We could just walk in. I can see Dr. Ogelegbe at the back there, the MD of Cedar Crest. We were working together. The patient was the center of what we were doing. That's the reason why I do not subscribe. When physiotherapists say, doctor said, you should do this, why are they writing? I said the important thing, let the patient get well. So I just want to employ those of us who are here to know that the patient is the center why we are here. If for any reason I have a patient, I walk up to me, Dr. Opadele, and say, please, there's this case. What should we do about it? And we meet in the clinic. When he operates, if there are things we are doing, if at a point I'm at a loss, I can just walk up to him and say, Dr. Opadele, this case, this is the way it is. It's the same thing. I'm not singling him out. It's everyone, especially the orthopedic team. So I just want to encourage all of us that are still here to know that the patient is the king here, and we should work together as one. God bless all of us. We shall meet again. We do not sorrow like those who don't have faith. My sister, it's well.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Laribo. Also, representing Dr. Salako, who incidentally is Dr. Opadele's classmate, all the way from the US, Remy Salako. Dr. Salako specifically asked that Remy delivers a word or two to this gathering. So, Madam Remy, please make it very brief.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Remy Salako. I'm representing Dr. Ayinde Salako, who is in Atlanta, Georgia. He tried to be here, but due to this COVID and other things, that's why he couldn't be here. So he said I should just give a word about Dr. Opadele. That he's coming to Nigeria now is a very tough one for him, because anytime he's in Nigeria, he spent 80% of his time with him, and he spent 20% with his family here in Abuja. is going to miss him very, very well. And he said I should tell the family that he sent his condolences, and God will be with all of us, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the orthopedic surgeons will give them the time to speak, because he is a man who worked closely with them and they know him. And to start to talk on behalf of the orthopedic surgeons is his direct boss, Dr. Salao. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I was hoping I would not be asked to talk this evening. I decided to hide behind here. I am an honorary member of Dr. Opadele's family. I'm a member of the family that accepted me. Amy was not just my colleague, he was my brother. We were very, very, very close. I wish him eternal rest in the bosom of God. And I wish the family God's comfort, God's support, and God's God will be with you.
Sorry, sir. Very emotional moment. I will hand over the microphone now to our dear own Professor Onyebuchi, also an orthopedic surgeon.
Dr. Opadele's family, CMD and management of National Hospital, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm always known in the past 27 years Dr. Opadele as an orthopedic surgeon, a colleague. My first encounter was when I was treasurer of the Nigerian Orthopedic Association about 25 years ago. And at that time, there were two orthopedic surgeons we related with here in Abuja. One, of course, was the last speaker, Dr. Salam, and of course, the other was Dr. Opadele. So anytime we talked about, at that time, we're talking about 25, 30 years ago, the time we talk about orthopedics in Abuja, actually, we just remember the two of them. I think probably there were others, but we just knew the two of them. And being treasurer of the Nigerian Orthopedic Association at that time, there were issues we had to deal with, you know. And I recall that in 2000, Dr. Salau, the Nigerian Orthopedic Association, was it 2002? We came over for our silver jubilee. And you can imagine a big association like that coming to a place where we had only 2 members. And it was quite tough. And so the kind of LOC we set up was beyond an LOC. It was a mixture of those who were here, Dr. Salau and Opadele, and then those who were in the other zones, Lagos, Enugu, Telakano. And one thing that came out of all that is that I think a doctor said it earlier on, that his strongest point was his humility. His humility to accept, you know, whatever in terms of procedures and processes. Those who are old enough to have been in Nigeria to understand what I'm saying, and even what happened in Port Harcourt subsequently. I couldn't believe when I saw the panel in Port Harcourt, and you know, it just showed the kind of people who believe that you cannot bring yourself out of a crowd. You cannot make yourself above your colleagues. Whatever your colleagues, you work with them, make your point, and that's how I've always known him. Even when I became minister, we had issues even in this national hospital, and when he came to me, he just said basically that whatever I was doing, he knew I was doing my job. And